Self-regulation is your ability to use your awareness of your emotions to stay flexible and direct your behavior positively. Self-management is about managing your negative emotions, impulses, and automatic emotional reactions to situations and people. Self-regulation doesn't mean putting emotions on lockdown or hiding your true feelings. It simply means waiting for the right time and place to express them. Self-regulation is all about expressing your emotions appropriately so that your behavior will not harm you or other people. How to use self-control for self-regulations. So when it comes to regulating difficult emotions, there are two ways most people respond. They act out or they suppress their emotions. If you act out with a strong emotions like anger or rage, you will most likely create undesirable consequences in your relationships and at work. The consequences of suppressing those big emotions can be even more dangerous. It is said, whatever you suppress will be later expressed in more uglier ways. So suppression doesn't help, except an unexpected eruption that can happen from time to time. So we humans, we can't control emotions, meaning we can't stop them or get rid of them with an act of will. Emotions are the natural processes. To be emotional means to be human. So we can change that part of ourselves. In recent times, an extraordinary wealth of scientific research in psychology and neuroscience has revealed that attempts to suppress, numb, or push away emotions usually fail. What we resist persists. Feelings we attempt to suppress simply go on longer and often turn into chronic emotional disorders. So that's not a good method. Moreover, suppression stores up negative energy in your body. Anybody who has ever experienced a deep tissue massage will know what I'm talking about. Often the suppressed energy is stored up in your shoulders and key energy points in your body. When unattended, these negative energies, they can turn into chronic aches and pain. So emotional repression is not a solution either. What many people aren't aware of that is that there is another way to regulate our emotions. That is to feel the feeling in real time and understand that feelings objectively. You are not masking or hiding your emotions here, but recognizing and regulating them appropriately. Therefore, don't block or resist that feeling. Let it be whatever it is and as strong as it is. Don't judge it. Understand it. Don't deny it. Accept it and work with it. Work with that feeling. Because all emotions will eventually rise and fall. Every emotion is like a wave. It will intensify for a while and then gradually subside. So don't amplify that feeling. Hold on to it or analyze the experience, and don't judge the emotion or yourself for having it. Work with it. Do not ever react to a situation or make rash decisions, but remain calm and rational. When you do that, you can make balanced decisions based on what is really important and not just how you feel at that time. You would have noticed that people who have very good self-control, they generally remain calm even when they are stressed. They are able to think clearly under pressure and still make very good decisions. They are able to use their resources to come out of any situation. And they tend to think like problem solvers than hopeless individuals. Most of us are in control when there are no emotions overriding us. But when we get too emotional and negative emotions begin to override us, we kind of lose our rationality and our ability to solve real issues. People with self-control do not allow any negative emotions to overtake their rationality, their state of mental balance and composure. They are not easily provoked. Their biggest weapon is their ability to respond rather than react. So reacting is an impulsive state of mind. It stems from the reptilian brain that is responsible for instincts. When you stamp a reptile, it attacks back. That is the impulsive reaction of a lizard brain. But we also have the mammalian brain and the neocortex that makes us more human. The difference between react and response is that pause. People with high emotional management skills takes a pause between their stimulus and response. Let's imagine you are provoked or stimulated by someone, and there is a pause to think, a pause to process what's going on, more like a self-awareness, and then you respond to that person instead of reacting. You take a time to process the information before you jump into conclusions or immediate actions. You avoid prejudices and you ignore assumptions to see things as they are so that you can respond objectively to that stimulus. So it is objectivity in emotional response that gives you a tremendous ability to control impulsive feelings and behaviors. Emotional subjectivity takes away that freedom from you. That's why you can ignore certain things when you don't pick all the fights, and you tend to choose your battles wisely. You don't catch all the balls that is thrown at you. You don't need to react to everything that is out there, to every provocations out there. So when you use objectivity to process your surroundings, you will also successfully deal with your triggers and these button pushers. This gives you the control of the situation, not being easily provoked, and you can process triggers in a healthy manner, even thinking about its consequences before you jump into action. People who lack these emotional regulations are enslaved to their bad temper. We have seen the careers of celebrities being destroyed by bad temper and how these paparazzis use their tactics to make a celebrity to lose their cool so that they can make some news out of it. Emotional management is a great skill, whether you are feeling successful or when you feel like a failure. Managing your negative emotions is a very key here. You take control and you don't allow yourselves to become too preoccupied with other things. Staying cool under pressure is an emotional, intelligent skill. It is the ability to surpass subjectivity of an experience with objectivity. The ability to switch from one negative emotion to a state of calmness and composure is another EQ skill. People with high emotional resiliency can get back to their original cheerful state, a non-stressed or a feel-good or feel-peaceful state that they can switch immediately after any setback. They have this self-talk of the champions that will help them resolve their issues because they also, don't see these adverse situations as something that is personal, pervasive, or permanent. The key is to learn how to recover fast from a negative mental state to a positive mental state. That's the core of self-management. This comes with the intentional practice to get your emotional composure fast, and you don't dwell on or linger in a negative emotions too long because you don't want to turn that emotion into a bad mood. Sometimes people make the mistake of dwelling in certain moods so that they can get attention from other people. This is something that you would have practiced as children to get your parents' attention. Go to a corner and put a grumpy face or, and get the attention from your parents. But this is not a healthy adult behavior because once the moods take over, you have less control on how to get back to your cheerfulness or your natural calm state. So don't let negative experiences or emotions to take away that twinkle in your eye, the fire in your belly, and the calmness of your face. If the emotions are too overwhelming to you and you find it extremely difficult to manage it, then to regain your balance, you can find a few cathartic expressions like journaling, drawing, and painting, or whichever way you can get that negative emotional energy out of your system. You may also choose to express your emotions with people you trust and you feel safe with. Confide in people you trust. Seek objectivity from their point of view. if you cannot find objectivity or rationality within you.